All right, I'd like to go ahead and call the Warrenton Board of Aldermen meeting for Tuesday, October 3rd, 2017 in session. And ask that you please rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance with
I
us.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item will be the consent agenda.
First item is the regular meeting minutes from September 19th, 2017. And then we have the open and executive meeting minutes from September 19th, 2017.
Any questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Shelby, seconded by Alderman Gary Miller. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman John Miller is absent. Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey?
Yes.
Alderman Costello?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Gary Miller?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0 with one absent. All right. Next item will be the introduction of Steve Polson as our WWTB operator.
Mayor and Board, I'd like to introduce Steve Polston. He started with the wastewater treatment plant on the 27th of September. If you have not known Steve, he's actually worked for the city before and brought that knowledge back to us.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Steve. Glad to see you.
All right, next item will be hearing from the public. We ask that if you have any comments or concerns, you please come to the podium, state your name, and we'll give you 5 minutes to speak. Not seeing anybody, we'll move on. Next will be the Board of Aldermen comments. Anybody can jump in.
Yep. I'd like just to take a moment to let everybody know that we had a groundbreaking ceremony last Tuesday, a week ago today, a little earlier in the evening, that started a project that encompasses 3 mayoral administrations, and that is the new overpass. I was surprised to hear the comments from MoDOT that we'd actually started planning that project in 2002. And I just want to thank all of the aldermen over those number of years. I know Alderman Shell Harvey, if you count the time he filled in after the death of, or passing of Mayor Dyer, you really had 4 mayors that were involved in that process, and to keep it going that long is really quite a feat. And I can't let this go that we really owe a debt of thanks to Terry Thorne and her staff. It just would not have happened, folks. We had elected officials come and go, and all the individuals during that period of time that sat here, the majority were for the project. The group, I must say, a good number of the group of aldermen that put the issue on the ballot, that took a lot of courage, and they also need to be recognized for that. So I just want to again say congratulations. If you haven't been out there recently, they are flat moving the dirt. I think I counted 3 big track hoes that they're actually digging out the stumps and moving a lot of dirt out there. So again, I just want to say congratulations to everyone that was involved and pushed the project across the finish line. And then I'd also like to congratulate particularly Gabrielle. We've been notified that we have a A+ rating with Standard & Poor's. That isn't by accident. The city's record keeping and finances are in excellent shape, as noted by that rating. The rating was important because it will save us money on the interest for the recreation project. If you look at a 1/4% improvement, which we believe will get a 1/3 of a point improvement, 25% or 1/4 of a point saves the citizens of the city of Warrenton $195,000. So I don't know that the public recognizes the quality of staff that we have and the detail work that they do in keeping both the finances in good order and keeping them transparent. I think you deserve a big thank you for that.
Any other comments?
Well, when Greg was mentioning the interstate project, we were talking about this the other day, and I said to him, you know, if we were going to name the bridge for the former mayor, we should name the pillars after Terry, because she's held the project up for all these years. And that's really what it took. A lot of hair pulling out, a lot of frustration, but a lot of patience too. And, you know, that's really a tribute to your effort.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I'd like to say we had a successful fall festival, and it was nice to see all the citizens come out and enjoy the bands that we put on. And I'd like to thank the city staff for all the extra hours they put in to set up, clean up, make it happen, and it went smoothly. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I would agree. With that being said, we'll move on to the mayor comments. A lot of things have been said the same that I was going to bring up, actually. I was greatly impressed when I got the notification of the A+ rating. The savings that will come from that are tremendous. And that is something that we've worked on, which springboarding off what Alderman Costello said is transparency we've worked on for years. Challenged with sometimes, but it shows every single time. That is the second time we've gotten a great rating on bond issues. And if you haven't been involved with that, it is a very entailed process. I'm not going to lie that boggled my mind looking at some of that, but I'm glad we have staff that can handle that. Hats off to the Fall Festival. Chief, I don't think we had any listed incidents, maybe one incident, but it was handled very quickly.
Very slight.
Yeah, I don't believe there was, I call it an incident just because I believe we had to handle it, but other than that, it wasn't anything major, and it was quietly dealt with and no disruption to the Fall Festival, which that's the second year in a row. So thank your guys, please, and our staff. Terry, thank them as well, because a lot of efforts put in there that they don't sit there and brag about, so they need to be bragged about here. That is a lot of work. So, especially with major projects going on right now, which a lot of people don't recognize, that we may be up here able to answer questions, and we are involved in a lot of those projects, but the behind-the-scenes stuff is done by our staff, and they're handling an overpass project, a pool project, trying to streamline things for what we've asked them to work on top of getting a fall festival that size arranged. That's a lot to work on. This is, several multi-million-dollar projects. So thank you.
I was going to ask Mike who the band is going to be for next year. I'm sure I'm sure they've decided that already, right?
Well, I missed the tourism meeting last week because I was out of town, but there's a couple honorable mentions maybe, but again, it's budget. It's what we want to, how much we want to budget for it and everything. Because some of these bands are getting more expensive. Some of them are dying off, so we won't be able to. But anyway, yeah, we need to. I'll get with Brandy because it's something we do need to already start working on. She knows as well as I do that. In fact, last year we talked to Pat. I can't think of what's her last name. Pat Holt, yeah, the agent, and we actually talked to her in front of the courthouse. Last year, as 38 Special was finishing up, we were already talking to her about who we were thinking about for this year. So I don't know if she got to do that this year or not, but anyway.
Not talk to her, but I think we did see her and interact with her a little bit, but we didn't ask that.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm not going to tip any hands yet. So
I will say, Pat's a pistol, that's for sure.
What's
She's
that?
fun. Pat's a pistol. She's fun.
yeah, she is.
She'll keep you in line real quick.
She's still going good.
All right, moving on to the next item, which will be the DESCO development agreement. Franklin Shears and Rob Clark. I think, Rob, you're one you represent, if you would.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the board. I'm Robert Clark with Armstrong Teasdale, here on behalf of DESCO, or specifically in this instance, TDG Development. On your agenda later this evening, you have a proposed development agreement between the city and TDG Development that we're asking that you consider approval of. TDG has a contract to purchase approximately 15 acres of property at Highway 47 and Veterans Memorial Parkway on the northwest quadrant of that intersection. They're proposing a commercial retail development of approximately 79,000 square feet. They anticipate that it would be grocery anchored with some other inline shops. They are looking to enter into the development agreement prior to closing so that they know that certain basic terms with respect to the development and financing of certain public infrastructure will be provided for. Specifically, the terms include that TDG would complete the project on or before December 31st of 2019. They would advance all the project costs, but they would seek formation of a community improvement district to seek reimbursement from that district for certain public infrastructure costs. That community improvement district would be required to be submitted by separate petition at a subsequent time to the Board of Aldermen. So you all will have another opportunity to review the specifics in terms of the eligible cost for reimbursement. As you may know, a community improvement district would levy an additional tax just on that development. The request would be to levy an additional sales tax of up to 1% on the retail sales made at that development, so just those 79,000 square feet. And then the proceeds of that would be used to finance the public infrastructure costs that TDG would incur in the first instance. The term of the district, we estimate, would be no greater than 25 years, and when those infrastructure costs were paid back, the community improvement district would be abolished and the tax would go away. So, happy to answer any questions that you all may have at this time.
Any questions? Doesn't look like it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, next item will be liquor by the drink liquor license for Decades of Love Banquet Center located at 1000 Warrenton Outlet Center, number 15 and number 16.
Can I ask a question? At one time, there was a discussion about changing the street address for the shops, is it shops at Warrenton or the Warrenton shops, but we're using the old verbiage. Are we making any progress in getting the new address done?
You all did approve that. This address came from what the applicant put on their application.
Okay.
So I don't know if Mr. King has been successful in getting all of those existing tenants to recognize the new address at this point, but it has been approved through the city, the post office, and everyone's been notified, so it is in effect as far as we are concerned.
Okay.
Now, will that affect this, or should we change this in the motion?
I wouldn't think it would matter, because we all know what it, I guess my point is, the sooner we can stop referring to it as the old outlet center,
agree.
the better off we are, because we're definitely moving forward, and we need to use the new verbiage every chance we get, so that was my only comment.
No, I would agree with that. I just want to make sure, but I don't think it should affect it either. We all know where
Right.
the place it is, and it is an old address for it. Any other questions?
Is there anybody here from
The banquet center?
them?
I don't
Anybody?
believe so, no.
Because I was going to ask, if the liquor laws are changed, I'm thinking that would be an on-premise consumption. I'm surprised are they going to be open full-time? That was...
I don't think so. Kathy's worked with them on a dinner, I want to say in December, for the tribute to the Veterans Memorial for a fundraiser, and I think they're only open for events that are scheduled.
So they're actually going to sell the liquor for each event rather than just have...
Sounds like, yeah.
Okay. That would be... Because usually those places just need a consumption license. So, but if they're going to sell the individual drinks at each banquet or at each event, then yeah, I see the difference. Okay.
Any other questions? All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the liquor by the drink liquor license for Decades of Love Banquet Center located at 1000 Warrenton Outlet Center, 15 and 16.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Costello, seconded by Alderman Schultz. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Shell Harvey?
Yes.
Alderman Costello?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Gary Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0 with one absent. Next on the agenda would be the item of the Boone Slick Regional Planning Commission membership dues for 2018. Any questions on that? Comments?
Do we have, excuse me, do we have regular communication with Boone Lake Regional Planning Commission, or what is our connection with that organization?
As far as a representative, we do not have a representative on there. They do have a board that sometimes, I believe, in the past, one of our board members was elected. No, was not elected to it. You're right, correct. But they have assisted us in the past with trying to get the project of the overpass up further on the MoDOT project list. So we have used them in the past. They've offered their assistance with grant writing, albeit as well. But Terry would probably be able to answer a lot more of that question than I will.
Do we have a contact person on the organization, Terry?
Michelle attends the TAC meetings, which is the MoDOT listing of projects in the area. They keep that updated. And she attends some other meetings with them. We do not utilize Boone Slick to the greatest extent that maybe a number of years ago that the city used them for grants. We've been administering our own grants and taking care of that. There's certain benefits to being involved with the committees that Michelle sits on so that we're aware of what's going on in the area. That's really, honestly, the biggest benefit is being involved in those committees so that we're aware of what's happening in our region.
Okay.
But as far as other services being provided, we really have not made use of much of those services at all in the recent past.
That's all I have.
Yeah, and I would think that the dues really don't provide you other services. You have to pay them for other services, so that would be over and on top of what the dues are, I would guess.
And how much are the dues?
$3,246.40.
Any other questions or comments?
I had attended a couple of the meetings in the past over different things, but I don't know that it was really beneficial for us to have a representative at just their regular meetings. I don't know.
Because aren't the regular meetings public anyway?
But they're usually
During the day.
very sparsely attended.
Yeah.
And they're usually during the day, which
Yeah,
if you have a
usually.
full-time job, it's hard to attend.
I think what Terry explained makes sense to me, that we need to keep being a membership person for that reason. So
All right, well.
I would make,
there's no
I would make a motion, we renew the membership due.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made by Alderman Gary Miller, seconded by Alderman Schultz to approve the Boone Regional Planning Commission membership dues for the year of 2018 in the amount of $3,246.40. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Costello.
Yes.
Alderman Ock.
Yes.
Alderman Gary Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Schultz.
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0 with one absent. Next item on the agenda, we'll be hearing from our Director of Operations and Finance Officer, Terry Thorne.
My first item for you this evening is a request for approval of a supplemental agreement with Crawford, Murphy, and Tilley. If you recall, these are the engineers who've worked throughout the process on our interchange project. We now are at the point where we are working on the extension of the water main. We need water at the south roundabout to be able to keep all of our new vegetation and landscaping alive. So they, in this agreement, will do the engineering to determine exactly where that water main needs to lie, because there are all kinds of utilities on the south side. And then also to determine exactly how that goes beneath the roundabout at MM to get it there. We have offered to the property owners on the west side of MM, the new rerouted MM, that we intend to put in a 2-inch water line which will service for irrigation purposes. It is not large enough, however, to service development of those properties. So we've given them the opportunity, if they want to, go ahead and upgrade the size of that water line so it will accommodate their future development. They can pay the additional cost for the upgraded line. Best estimate at this point, without the engineering completed, it could be up to $80,000 additionally to go from a 2-inch line to a 6 or 8-inch line. So we're working with them on that, but this allows CMT to get started on the engineering and get that engineering completed so that this can happen in conjunction with all of the other construction that's going to go on out there.
Where's Montgomery County Public Water System? Are they just on the north side?
No, Montgomery, this is actually within Montgomery County Water District's area.
Okay.
We, along with the property owners, have worked with them, and they are releasing this property because they don't have water north of the railroad, and they do not want to deal with getting water north of the railroad. So they're releasing these properties for the city to service them.
I mean, it would seem kind of foolish to to not expand to a bigger line if we anticipate development north of the railroad and south of the interchange. But you really, that's something we're leaving up to the developer to participate in, or future developers?
That's what we've proposed as of this point.
Montgomery County serves Lakeview Estates.
Okay. I mean, because, if a person didn't expand it now and you had a project going in there that had heavy water use, what would you do? You have to tear out the whole project and redo it to get the bigger line, and I assume?
Well, it would be up to how those properties develop and where the water needs to go. We will have the 8-inch line underneath the new roadway over to the west side.
Okay.
So depending on where it goes from there, whether they connect on there and go south on their property, whether, right now they don't know what they're going to do there. But we've given them the option, if they want to go ahead and upgrade it with the unknown variable out there, then certainly they could. I don't know that right now the city would want to expend that extra money because we're not sure where or how that's going to develop.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? I'm sorry, were you still asking?
No, I'm done.
Motion to approve the supplemental agreement for consultant services.
Do you need the amount attached to that, Terry?
$17,190.
I'll second.
Motion made by Alderman Costello, seconded by Alderman Schultz. Roll call, please.
Alderman Ock.
Yes.
Alderman Gary Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Schultz.
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey.
Yes.
Alderman Costello.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0, one absent.
That's all I have for you this evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question? A while back, we talked about, we turned over to staff the project of looking at transportation issues north of north of 70 on 47, people walking and bikes and all that, and I think it was to a staff committee. Do we know where that project is, or, and the only reason I say, because I was out Sunday morning and there was people walking in ditches, there was bikes on the road and everything else, and the problem's not going away, and I was just kind of curious where I thought the staff committee was looking at that in more detail.
We have not spent a great deal of
Okay.
time on that.
Okay.
And we can push that to the forefront if you want us to make that a priority, but the truth of the matter is, we just have not had the time to spend on it.
And it is a real problem.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I've seen guys and gals riding their bicycle on the white stripe.
Yep.
And that's pretty scary stuff.
We should have a couple of things in the next week or so that we've kind of gotten to the point where that we can not spend so much time, so we'll make that one of the next projects that we start to work on to try to get some movement on that.
All right, thank you.
Excellent. All right, thank you. Next, we'll hear from the Assistant Director of Operations, Brandy Walters.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. The first thing that I have on my list is the monthly marketing business support report. As you can see, we've had a couple of folks coming in to get some of the welcome packets from Michelle, which is great. They're looking at some empty properties. We've had also this past month, we had Deerfield Vineyards open, and we had our groundbreaking of the interchange.
We'll say that the Deerfield, quite impressed. It's a very nice.
Very nice.
They've done a great job with that.
Yes, I agree.
Any questions or comments? All right.
The next thing I have on my list is the monthly administration report. As you can see on there, we are back to 0 accidents for last month, which is great news. We've been doing some more police interviews, and as far as back to the accidents, I think the safety talks, doing the safety talks and the safety meetings every month is really helping a lot when it comes to that.
Any questions or comments? Busy. All right.
And the last thing I have for you is the tourism recommendations. And they are asking for $600 reimbursement for the Dairy Queen Interstate Attraction sign and $195 for the Hell on Wheels, the railroad days, for an advertisement in one of their railroad magazines. For a total of $795.
Any questions or comments on those? All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the tourism recommendation in the amount of $795.
So moved.
Second?
Motion made by Alderman Shelby, seconded by Alderman Costello. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Gary Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Michelle Harvey,
Yes.
Alderman Costello,
Yes.
Alderman Ock.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0 with one absent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Finance Manager Gabrielle Curry.
Good evening. The only item I have for you is the accounts payable for the month in the amount of $852,802.93.
Any questions on that?
No conflicts for me?
There is one on there for you.
Any other questions or comments? Entertain a motion to approve the accounts payable in the amount of $852,802.93.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Gary Miller, seconded by Alderman Schultz. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Michelle Harvey,
Yes.
Alderman Costello,
Abstain?
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Gary Miller.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0 with one abstaining and one absent.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Well, that was quick and easy for you. You got it easy tonight. Bills to ordinance. I will entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 67-17.
So moved.
Second?
Motion made by Alderman Ock, seconded by Alderman Costello.
An ordinance of the City of Warrenton, Missouri approving the form of a development agreement by and between the city and TDG Development LLC and authorizing and directing the execution thereof and authorizing certain actions related thereto.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading and passage of bill number 67-17.
So
Motion made by Alderman Shell Harvey, seconded by Alderman Gary Miller.
An ordinance of the City of Warrenton, Missouri approving the form of a development agreement by and between the city and TDG Development LLC and authorizing and directing the execution thereof and authorizing certain actions related thereto.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Shell Harvey.
Yes.
Alderman Costello.
Yes.
Alderman Ock.
Yes.
Alderman Gary Miller.
yes.
Alderman Schultz.
Yes.
Bill passes 5-0 with one absent. All right, folks, we are at the point where I'm going to entertain a motion, to close the regular Board of Aldermen meeting to go into executive session for real estate.
So moved. Second.
Roll call vote. No, I'm sorry. Getting used to this. All those in favor?
No. Who was the first and second? Then you do your roll call vote.
I thought it said Alderman Schultz.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Who was it?
I made the motion to adjourn.
And the second one was Shell Harvey.
Shell Harvey. Okay, now you can do roll call vote.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Costello.
Yes.
Alderman Ock.
Yes.
Alderman Gary Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Schultz.
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey.
Yes.
We're so adjourned, folks, and then to the session.